All right, guys. So now we're going to be looking at the median from a frequency distribution with ungrouped data. And it says when the observations in a set of data are given as a frequency distribution with ungrouped data, then the position is given by half the n plus 1th rank, right? So Q2 is equal to a half times the n plus 1th rank. To find the n plus 1th rank, we must do a summation. A summation of the frequencies, called the running total or the cumulative frequency, is used to help us find the rank easily, since the rank is a frequency value. We must construct a cumulative frequency table. Alright guys, so I'm going to give you an example of how you construct this cumulative frequency table, okay? And it's actually relatively simple. So usually you get a table like this, guys, right? Where it's just the weight and the number of students, right? And you have to calculate this cumulative frequency table. So what you have to do is you have to write interval here, and in this case it's weight, so it's in kilograms. This weight is in kilograms as well, and we're gonna put less than or equal to 30, less than or equal to 31, less than or equal to 32, and less than or equal to 33, right? The interval matches the weight. So where did I get the 30 from? Here. Where did I get the 31 from? Less than 31 from? There. So the interval matches the weight, right? And for the cumulative frequency, I'm going to put that here, cumulative frequency. The cumulative frequency is actually the number of students added right down. So for the first one, it's going to be 20. For the next one, it's going to be 20 plus 30, which would give us 50. Then the next one is going to be 50 plus 40, which would give us 90. And the last one would be 90 plus 10, which would give us 100. All right. All right, guys, great. So let's do an actual example of this and work it out to see a full question with the median from a frequency distribution from ungrouped data. Okay. All right, guys. So let's look at this question here. And it says the weights of 100 pupils in a school are shown in the table below. And they give us this table here. The weight is 51, 52, and so on. And the number of pupils, the number of students or pupils whose weight is 7 is 51. The number whose weight is 52 kilograms is 8, and so on, right? And it says here, find the median of the weight shown in the frequency distribution given, right? So how do we find the median of the weights shown in the distribution? And from what we just did earlier, we know it's the n plus 1th, right? The n plus 1th rank, right? Half of the n plus 1th rank. So to find Q2, let's just put it here. Let's put it right there. Well, no, let's not put it there because in order to find Q2, we actually have to we'll have to finish up the table here. So we're going to add more to the table, and we're going to say the weights, the interval, sorry. Let me just add that to it. One moment here, guys. We're going to add the interval, and we're going to add the cumulative frequency. Cool. And how do we put the interval again? It's in kilograms, and it's actually going to be less than or equal to 51, less than or equal to 52, less than or equal to 53, less than or equal to 54, just like the weight, right? Less than or equal to 55, less than or equal to 56, less than or equal to 57, and less than or equal to 58, and then less than or equal to 59, and less than or equal to 60. Cool. Now for the cumulative frequency, what we're going to do is we're going to add up these. So it's going to be 7 The first one is 7. The second one is 7 plus 8, which should actually be 15. Then the next one should be 15 plus 10, which is 25. Then the next one should be 25 plus 12, which is 37. Then the next one is 37 plus 13, which is 50. The next one is 50 plus 15, which is 65. Then the next one is 65 plus 12, which is 77. Then 77 plus 77 plus 9, which would be 86. Then 86 plus 8, which would be 94. And 94 plus 6 would give me 100, right? All right, so we're pretty much cool there. And since we have the table, now we can find the median easily. All we have to do is find the n plus 1th rank, as I mentioned. So let's just put Q2 here is equal to half the n plus 1th rank. And in this case, n is equal to the sum, the end of the cumulative frequency, the sum, which is equal to 1 over 2 times 100 plus 1 rank. And the rank should be equal to the 50.5th rank. And since it's at the 50.5th rank, this means it's between the 50th and 51st rank. Cool. All right, guys. So for the 50th rank, this 50th rank actually matches the 55th rank, right? So if we go right across, it goes to the 55th rank. And for the 51st, right? For the 51st rank, this actually matches the 65, which it matches the 56. The 56 weight, right? So since the 51st and the 50th match the 55th and 56th weight, then Q2 is actually equal to 55 plus 56 over 2, and this would be the median. Okay, guys? And we're actually going to get 55.5 kilograms as the median. Okay? All right, guys. Okay, so let's do the rest of the question here. So let's look at part 1 there. And part 1 says, well, B part 1, and it says determine the probability that if a pupil is chosen at random, the pupil weighs 56 kilograms or less. Okay, so let's just put a probability sign here. The probability that the pupil weighs less than or equal to 56 kilograms, right? This should actually be equal to, well, if it's less than 56, guys, then we know that it should be actually, it should definitely be 65 and less, because if it's less than or equal to 56, then it would start from 65 here and downwards. So it would be this amount. So we know it's 65, and we know that there are 100 observations in total. So it end up getting 0.65 as the probability. And for the second one, it says here, determine that the pupil weighs less than 53 kilograms. So the probability here is the pupil weighs less than 53 kilograms, right? And in that case, it would actually be 15 down, because it wouldn't be 25 because it's not less than or equal to. If it was less than or equal to, it would be 25, but in this case, it's actually less than. So the answer is actually 15 over 100, which in this case is 0.15, and that's the probability. And for the third one, it says calculate the probability that the pupil the pupil weighs more than 58 kilograms. So in this case, it would actually be anything greater than 58, right? Um, and this one is actually usually greater than or equal to 58. So in this case, anything greater than or equal to 58 is actually quite small. It would be 86 minus the total. So in this case, it's 100 minus 86, and that would be the only 14 that is over 58. Sorry, and we would end up with 100 minus 86 over 100. We should end up with 14 over 100, which is 0.14. All right, guys. Okay, cool. So this question actually wasn't too bad, but the main thing, guys, is just drawing the table and adding up the cumulative frequency, and then you should be okay in terms of answering questions. All you have to do is use this formula here, half of the n plus 1th rank. When you find the rank, especially if there's a 0.5 between, that means it's the lower one, 50 and 51th rank. And the 50 and 51th rank is based on where the number in the cumulative frequency is. All right. So not too difficult, and we're gonna move on to the mode now. Okay, guys. That's it, and I'll see you in the next lecture. And remember to do your best, and God will do the rest.